Welcome to this first episode in this special series of short videos focusing on the key announcements from the 2025 budget. We'll take what has been published so far and get to the crux of what it means for taxpayers and businesses, including looking at any particular considerations or opportunities for planning. This episode is concerned with the forthcoming changes to capital allowances. To recap, capital allowances replace depreciation for tax purposes. They apply to capital expenditure, perhaps most commonly on plant and machinery, which is what we will be focusing on here. The main types of plant and machinery allowances are the annual investment allowance, writing down allowances, and first-year allowances. The annual investment allowance, or AIA for short, is available to companies and unincorporated businesses and is set at £1 million per year. Qualifying expenditure up to this amount attracts 100% relief in the year it is incurred. However, there are some important exclusions. For example, cars cannot be relieved using the AIA. Writing down allowances generally apply to the balance of expenditure once the AIA is used up. Currently, the main pool rate is 18% on a reducing balance basis. There are also special first-year allowances available to companies. These are usually focused on encouraging particular types of investment, such as environmentally friendly equipment. There are two announced changes to consider. Firstly, the writing down allowance rate for main pool expenditure is being cut to 14% from April 2026. This is self-explanatory, and the only real thing to note is that where the chargeable period straddles the date of the change, a hybrid rate will need to be used. The second, more important change is the introduction of a new first-year allowance of 40% for main pool expenditure. This will apply to expenditure incurred on or after the 1st of January 2026 and will be available to companies and unincorporated businesses. This will be useful where the AIA has already been exceeded or where other types of allowance aren't available. The published note specifies that assets purchased for leasing will be included. This is welcome news for companies, as these assets are excluded from full expensing. The leasing industry has argued that the justifications that saw the restrictions introduced are no longer applicable, and so the move is a welcome one for modernisation. But it's not just leasing companies that are the winners here. Unincorporated businesses with large capital expenditure will now have an enhanced allowance available with no cap. Let's have a look at a simple example. Suppose a large partnership has already utilised its AIA for the 2025 to 26 year. In January 2026, it incurs a further £300,000 on plant and machinery. Under the new rules, 40% of this can be written off in 2025 to 2026. Along with the writing down allowance, which will still be at 18%, this gives total allowances of £152,400. Contrast this with the position if the new expenditure had been incurred just a month earlier. The deduction would be almost £100,000 lower. So are there any particular things that businesses should be aware of? Well, the introduction of a new enhanced allowance adds another layer of complexity when considering where allowances should be allocated. This will be new to unincorporated businesses, so they should take extra care to ensure they are getting the best result, especially as the writing down allowance will only be 14% in the near future. Additional upfront relief is a cash flow boost. Businesses may want to pass some of this saving on to customers, which could help give a competitive advantage. Of course, the savings could be reinvested into the business to help growth.
That concludes the first episode of this budget special series. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, don't forget to like and subscribe so you receive notifications of future episodes. Do pop along to our webshop where you can find all of our tax solutions in one place. The link is shown below.